Hello and welcome to our Year with the Ears, our daily vlog where we relive our year living in the Walt Disney World Resorts in 2019. Today is day 244.
I woke up early this morning and I was going to meet some friends at Animal Kingdom for the opening of the park. They stuck around after the conference for a few days and I said, well, we'll hang out in the park together, have some fun. But I want to eat breakfast before I go because we're club level here at Boardwalk and I want to make sure I take full advantage of that. Plus, they typically have Krispy Kreme donuts at breakfast, and I know I love Krispy Kreme donuts. They also had the usual things like oatmeal, they had some scrambled eggs, they had meats and cheeses and all kinds of pastries, as well as some salmon up there. But today was a special day because it is Sunday. And on Sundays, Boardwalk brings in a chef not just for dinner, but also for breakfast. And they have a full made-to-order omelet station where you can get whatever you want made in an omelet. And we've never experienced this before because whatever reason, we've just never happened to be here on a Sunday. And that's the only day they do it. So I got an omelet and a few other things like, you know, Krispy Kreme donuts and had breakfast, and then I headed over to Animal Kingdom on the bus. I got there and met up with our friends and I was like, hey, you guys are here, you've got to ride Flight of Passage. If you do nothing else, you have to ride Flight of Passage. So we went and got in the queue for Flight of Passage. It was only about a 45-minute wait, which is pretty good for Flight of Passage, and this was the first time I have ever gone through the standby queue. So I was experiencing it for the first time just like they were. I've never seen all the stuff in this queue because I've always had a fast pass, or like a couple days ago, I was on a VIP tour, so they take you through the fast pass line. I didn't even know half this stuff existed in the queue, so it was really cool to get to see all of it and experience it with someone else who was experiencing it for the first time. We finally got up to ride Flight of Passage and this was incredible. I always love this ride, but to see people riding it for the first time was absolutely amazing. I honestly didn't even hardly watch the screen. I was mostly watching my friends because they were just loving every moment of it, and it's so immersive with the wind and the water and everything 3D with the glasses. It's just incredible, and they were just like, oh my goodness, what did I just ride? That was the coolest thing ever. I was like, yeah, sorry, nothing else here is gonna top that. I mean, the Expedition Everest is a roller coaster and stuff, but nothing's topping that. But they definitely agreed that was absolutely the best thing they could do to start the day off, and they were very happy that I made them ride that one for sure. Next, we went over to Expedition Everest, which didn't have too long of a line this morning, thankfully. The girls did not want to ride, so we all waited in line, then they bailed out, and just the guys rode, and I don't think they quite knew what they were in for. The faces were kind of like a little bit terrified on the ride, but after it was over, they loved it, so it's okay. They were very happy with it. They loved thrill rides, so it worked out all right. At this point, they were getting hungry from all the adrenaline on the rides and waiting in line and everything, so we went over towards Yak and Yeti to see if we could get a quick lunch reservation for sometime in the very near future, and they actually had tables open now because they had just opened a few minutes before, so we went in and got seated, and I love Yak and Yeti most of the time, but at this point, I'm really not all that hungry. I had a huge breakfast and maybe one too many donuts, so I just got the appetizer of egg rolls, and I said, that's all I need. I'll have the egg rolls. You guys can order and eat whatever you want. Don't worry about me. So they had like the wonton soup and the surf and turf with the coconut shrimp and the steak, and they had the Korean barbecue ribs and several other dishes. I loved seeing it all and smelling it all, but I just wasn't that hungry, so egg rolls is fine. I'll get some more food later at club level if I want it.
And I was actually still at the resort during this time. I slept in this morning and just enjoyed being in the room by myself. I'm one of those people, I need to recharge after being around people for long periods of time, and that is something we have done a lot the last few days. I love people, I love meeting new people, I love seeing friends and family, but I do get drained when I'm around them a lot, and I just need time to recharge. And that's exactly what I did this morning. It was exactly what I needed. It was amazing. I went down to club level and got my own omelet. I got a ham and cheese omelet. I love omelets anyway, but to have it made right there in front of you, perfectly fresh, it was so good. Of course, getting all the other amazing breakfast options as well. I just sat there enjoying myself, went back to the room, got ready for the day, and then I did take the bus over to Animal Kingdom to meet them. Since they were eating, I knew I had some time before they were going to be done because they were chatting, and when I got inside the park, I got to see Divine, and I actually haven't seen her much this year at all, probably because she blends in really, really well. And half the time people walk right by her, us included. And I actually noticed her this time and stopped and took some video because She's just so cool and so pretty, and I love watching her. It's just really amazing to see in Animal Kingdom. I then continued over towards Yak and Yeti and met them, and we all went and waited in line to ride the safari because this is another must that you have to do if you're in Animal Kingdom. Of course, ride Flight of Passage, go towards the beginning of the day, but you cannot come to Animal Kingdom and not ride the Kilimanjaro Safari. And this was so much fun. We actually had an amazing ride, got to see a lot of animals, and they were blown away. Our friends were like, they just wander around you like freely. We're like, yeah, isn't that amazing? They have been impressed with so many things here at Disney, and it's been really great to see because they weren't really Disney fans before. They were just like, oh, you're doing all this stuff at Disney because you guys like Disney. And now they're like, I can't wait to come back. This has been so great. And I love it so much. After the ride was over, it was about time for the Lion King show. And so we headed over there. It is at certain times of the day, so you have to kind of time your day accordingly. We walked over and got there just in time. So we went in. And again, just an amazing part of Animal Kingdom are the shows. So we watched that, of course, absolutely loved it. And then we headed over towards Dino Land. We rode Dinosaur, and this was a lot of fun because I remember the first time I rode, I screamed. It terrified me. His siblings laughed so hard, they thought it was amazing. Grown adult just screaming on this ride. And of course, you have to take friends and family there when they come. So we took them, and yes, they did get scared, but it was awesome. And they'll probably never trust us again, but that's okay. That's part of friendship, right? After this, we headed over to Finding Nemo the Musical. This is actually my favorite show in Animal Kingdom. I love Lion King, but Finding Nemo the Musical, the talent, the songs, all of it, I love it. And we all just sat there and we enjoyed it for the umpteenth time, of course. And they were just blown away. They're like, we basically got to watch a Broadway show with our park ticket. Like, yeah, that's part of Disney. Isn't it amazing? And they were like, everything is just so top notch. It's so crazy. We're like, yep, that's the Disney way. And so we have just had the best day showing off Disney to them. We love Magic Kingdom, but I feel like Animal Kingdom is in a league of its own, and I love it because it's just so different from the other parks.
We were just about done in the park at this point, but before we go, Everest did not have a very long line, so my friend and I decided to go ride it real quick because it was like 15 minutes. So we went and rode Everest one more time. This time he knew it was coming, so he wasn't as terrified. After this, we did go up to the front of the park, and they got on a bus to Coronado Springs, and we got a bus back over to Boardwalk. Thankfully, we did make it back in time for dinner being served. That was kind of what we were trying to hurry and get back for. Tonight, they had a couple different things, and the first one was scallops, which made someone very excited.
Obviously, I love scallops. And of course, we try and be here for every meal when we have club level access because, I mean, it's why you pay extra because you have club level access. And we get to eat scallops. I mean, they're so good and they're made right in front of you. So they're perfectly fresh. They're delicious. I love them. So that's pretty much most of what I ate tonight.
They also had some pasta with meatballs that had some fresh cheese on top. I was good with that too, but I actually ate more of the scallops because they were really, really good today. And they had the traditional spread for dinner with all the meats and cheeses and things like that, but we really focus on the dishes the chef's preparing.
After we finished dinner, we stuck around in the lounge waiting for desserts. And these did not disappoint tonight. They had the regular stuff like Rice Krispie treats. They had a couple different kinds of tarts, but they also had cannolis, which were pretty good. Those were nice.
I like cannolis, yeah.
But the thing I was excited about was we were once again here for cheesecake, and I love the cheesecake bites. And tonight they specifically had the chocolate one, which is my favorite. So it's just been a really good dinner and dessert night here at club level for me.
I also enjoyed the cheesecake, and I had more of those than I did the cannolis because the cheesecakes are really good. After we finished stuffing ourselves with desserts, we did head down to the bus and take the bus back over to the park, but not Animal Kingdom. We're going to Magic Kingdom this time. Our friends had said they wanted to go back and catch the fireworks at Magic Kingdom one more time, and I was like, hey, we'll come join you, why not? So we went there and we watched Happily Ever After with them one more time, and then after Happily Ever After was over, we went back over to our resort because we can do stuff like that. It's one of the perks of being here on property. We're just a quick bus ride away or a monorail ride or boat ride away from anywhere we want to be. Once we got back to the resort, we just stayed there in the lobby for a little while because my sister and her husband and my little baby niece were going to be arriving anytime now on Magical Express, and we wanted to take them on up to the club level. Of course, they can't get up there without the magic bands that we have for them because they were all sent to us. So we were waiting on them to come in. They finally got there from Magical Express. We took them upstairs and showed them where club level was and the snacks and things they could have had if they had been here before Snacks went away, but they can have them tomorrow. Showed them where the room was, and we got them all settled in for the night. And that was the end of our day today. So we'll see you tomorrow
for our Year with the Ears.